Road America, one of the most iconic racetracks here in North America, and it takes a specific strategy to be able to come out as a race winner. Long straightaways, hard braking, tons of drafting, and if you got to restart, you're going to be a sitting duck on the front straightaway. Hello, race fans. My name is Rob Howden, back for the second USF2000 race of the weekend, a part of a triple header here at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. The driver who was able to break through his first ever USF2000 win earlier this morning, Eddie Beswick. Eddie, let's talk about the win first. You're finally able to get that one, knock the goose egg. How do you feel about the win?
Yeah, super happy and relieved. I feel like it's been a long time coming. It's been a while since I've won a race. But yeah, the team gave me an awesome car, and it was super cool to get the first win here for them.
Yeah, at one point, you and your teammate Brad Majman were thinking about battling a little bit there, some side-by-side stuff. Was there some radio chatter from the pit lane telling you what to do?
On the run down to 5, we got the call that we can race, but don't bring the others into it. And then Brad goes down the inside, and I got the switch back, and it was pretty much set after that. So we were allowed to race, but nothing silly.
When you get that first win, you mentioned the word relief, right? You had that relief. The pressure's off a little bit, but the pressure, I think, also adds on to get the next one, right? To keep the momentum going. How do you feel going into the second race here today?
It's going to be a bit harder, starting a bit further back, but the car was fast up front, so we'll see what we can do in dirty air, but relieved at the moment, and then we'll see how we go in the race.
So, starting a little bit further back, thoughts going into turn number 1, maybe a different mindset than you had starting where you did in race number 1?
Yeah, because the car's fast, we just got to survive, and it's a long race, a lot of overtaking opportunities, so hopefully we can get through that first lap and then pick them off one by one.
On this way up here to the USF2000 program, Eddie won a ton of Formula Ford races, so he knows how to go wheel to wheel. He's going to have to do that here in turn 1 and turn 5 throughout the opening laps to be able to come through to try to get his second race win of his USF2000 career. Folks, a full field of drivers, 25 set to go here. Race number 2 for USF2000. I'll give you the full grid after this break.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by, like, a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
We test every vehicle for driving safety, performance, and efficiency. But we also believe a vehicle should be fun. So we set out to test the all-new Prelude for joy, excitement, and exhilaration. And it's clear, it's not just the way our vehicles move, but the way they make you feel that makes them a Honda. The Prelude Hybrid, engineered for fun.
Gentlemen, it's been a great day so far here for the drivers in the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tire. A couple of races, one early this morning with a 8 a.m. start, one just wrapping things up there in USF Pro 2000. We'll have one of our USF Pro 2000 drivers joining me here in the booth. But let's have a look at the grid as these drivers are getting ready to roll off. The very tail of the field, an issue in qualifying. Keep an eye on this young driver, second generation, you know the name for sure, Oliver Weldon for VRD Racing in the number 98. Lots of speed throughout the testing sessions. Watch him come from the tail of the field. Weldon, the rookie in the number 98, starting 25th. Up to row number 12 on the outside. The two young ladies in the field here on row number 12, Maddie Colleran for Zanella Racing out of Ohio in the number 29. She'll start 24th. And out of Arizona, Kaylee Countryman, a recent podium in the F1 Academy Series, the Jay Howard Driver Development powered by ECR driver in the number 5, starting in the 23rd position. We'll go up to row number 11, starting on the outside in the VRD Racing. Number 78, that is Jack Morhart. Morhart in the 78 out of Boca Raton, Florida. Inside of that row, in the number 7, from Sao Paulo, Brazil, it's Naeem Saleh for Jay Howard Driver Development, powered by ECR. Up now into row number 10, starting 20th on the outside, the South African. It's the number 67 of VM Bossa for PFH Racing. Inside of that row, out of Indiana for Jay Howard Driver Development is Callahan Peter in the number 9. Further forward to row number 9, the number 17 will be Thomas Nordquist, the driver to Omaha, Nebraska for D-Force Racing. A lot of rookies here in this program. He'll start alongside fellow freshman Connor Aspley in the exclusive Autosport number 91. Aspley out of O'Fallon, Missouri. Moving up now to the next row as we get things rolling here. These drivers getting set to fire things up here momentarily. 3 minutes away from the call to fire engines. We'll go to row number 8, starting on the outside in the number 28 machine from Illinois, the Zanella Racing driver, Grant Mitchell. Mitchell, full-time driver in the USF Juniors category, one of 5 USF Juniors drivers jumping up to USF2000 here this weekend. Mitchell starting 16th alongside Elias Vignola, the Mexican driver for D-Force Racing in the number 10. Row number 7, all-exclusive Autosport. Expect these drivers to work their way forward. Gabriel Kahn out of New Mexico, the number 93, starting in the 14th position. He has shown top 10 speed. He'll start alongside the young rookie out of Ontario, Canada, Leonardo Saravalli, in the number 87, the rookie full-time USF Juniors driver, ready to roll off for his second start here in USF 2000. Now up into row number 6, starting on the outside from Quebec, Canada, for Pabst Racing. That's Lucas Nanji, the rookie in the number 24. He'll start 12th alongside your point leader, Sebastian Garzon for D-Force Racing, was 12th with a couple laps to go. Fought his way back up into P5. A great recovery for Garzon, who's had a fantastic season so far. 7 straight top 5 finishes. Into the top 10, row 5, Cole Medeiros on the outside. Another one of our USF Juniors drivers, Cole Medeiros out of Ontario in the exclusive Autosport number 97. Alongside of him, the driver who dominated the action here last year in the USF Juniors category, Liam Loiacono from Australia for Jay Howard. Watch for Loiacono to attack from row number 5. Row 4 sees Wesley Gundler on the outside in the number 46 for NB Motorsports, a driver he raced with hardcore last year in a F1600 championship competition. Ayrton Kahn for exclusive Autosport starting on the inside of that row in the number 94 P7. Row 3 will have the winner from race number 1, Eddie Beswick. A little deeper in the field for the driver of that machine for Pabst Racing, Beswick in the number 23, starting on the outside of row number 3, P6. Alongside him, Evan Cooley out of Illinois for exclusive Autosport in the number 90. We'll go now to row number 2, starting on the outside from Southern California for VRD Racing. Best career starting spot for Ryan Janetta in the number 44. He'll start 4th position alongside Anthony Martella in the number 92 exclusive Autosport machine. Martella, a winner earlier this year at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 25 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row. Off pole, the outside of the front row, from Florida by way of Brazil, VRD Racing driver João Vergara, one of the top 3 drivers in USF Juniors last year, making the move up here to USF 2000. Being told right now we have a little bit of a hold, so we'll work our way through here. One more driver still to come, and that will be Brad Majman, the driver who started on the pole in race 1, came home to second, looking for his second win of the year. Brad Majman for Pabst Racing in the number 22, starting on the pole. Being told we are currently on hold right now. We have our drivers ready to fire things up. We have our command person waiting, but we are on hold right now. Majman and Vergara on row 1. Martella and Gianetta on row 2. Cooley and Beswick on row 3. Kahn and Gundler will be row 4. Loiacono alongside Medeiros on row 5. Garzon, your point leader, alongside Nanji on row 6. Saravalli and Kahn, row number 7. Vignola and Mitchell on row 8. Aspley and Nordquist, row 9. Row 10 will see Peter alongside Bossoff. Row 11, Soleil and Morhard. Row 12, Countryman and Colleran. And again, by himself at the tail of the field will be Oliver Weldon. Again, looking forward to watching 25 drivers, the biggest field we've had in USF 2000 in many years, ready to roll things off here for the Anderson Company's Grand Prix of Road America, presented by Elite Engines. And it is time to fire things up. Folks, let's head down to pit lane to get it underway here. The call to fire engines, one of our guests from the USF Pro Championships, will welcome Ezra Brennan.
Drivers, start your engines!
That's what I'm talking about, Eric.
We have had so much energy today for this Anderson Grand Prix of Road America. All weekend. All 3 races today.
I love it.
Fantastic.
I love it. Folks, if you've watched this program for the last number of years, you know that we've seen drivers like Kyle Kirkwood, Christian Rasmussen, Ritas VK, all come through this program, winning races all along the way. This was a breakout weekend for David Malukas a number of years ago as well here at Road America, scoring a win for what was then BN Racing. And indeed, all these young drivers here looking to work their way forward. They're thinking USF Pro 2000 for 2027, Indy next. They all want to get to that particular spot, moving their way up the ranks. But again, 25 of them getting ready to take the green. And a reconnaissance lap underway as these drivers fired up and leaving pit lane. Joining me in the booth here today, one of the drivers I've had a chance to watch through his karting career, become one of the top drivers in USF Pro 2000 for VRD Racing Fast, Frankie Mossman. Frankie, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time to come in here with us, but it's going to be fun to watch some USF 2000 racing.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I think the conditions are going to be really tricky compared to how they raced in this morning. It was a difficult one for us. The adjustment from the IndyCar qualifying really made a huge difference. So I think there's going to be a lot to shake up here, and I think a lot of people that weren't in contention are going to be in at this one.
So there's only one person in this booth that's been on this racetrack so far this weekend. It's not me and Eric. So, dude, it is you. That run after IndyCar got out there, you and I talked on the way over. Sometimes you get out after IndyCar and it's super greasy. Sometimes it's gripped up. But a lot of times it plays to the humidity and the temperatures. For you, it was only 70 degrees, I think. What was the grip level like for you?
Yeah, it was unreal, honestly. In 4 years of me being in the series, this is probably one of the heaviest weekends in the rubber. I think there was one Portland weekend where, it kind of felt pretty similar. But the Continental tires really handled it well. I think it was a lot more tire management than we're used to as well. It feels a lot warmer than it really is, too. So the degradation was important, but there was a lot of rubber down, and it took a lot of talent to be in the front in that race.
Frankie, a question for you. Obviously, you and Eddie Beswick at VRD Racing in the pro side, but you got 3 drivers running in the USF 2000 side. When you come in and debrief, immediately talking about how much grip there was, knowing that Radical Cup was going out afterwards, the temperature kind of rising a little bit here. Was your input from your race able to maybe change anything setup-wise for the guys on your USF 2000 team?
I bet it was. Really, I think Dan takes a lot of that into consideration. But I feel like they've been really ahead of it. They've been strong in the 2000 stuff, and I think if the boys keep their heads down, they can get some good finishes here, especially with starting second.
Got a veteran like Frankie Mossman in the booth with us. We'll definitely come to him throughout this race. If we have any incidents, we'll see if he can kind of analyze it for us. We'll also talk more to him about what it's like to run a full distance event here at Road America. Eric, to have somebody who knows this racetrack, has raced here many times before, top level of our program, just 2 steps away from IndyCar, a guy we're probably going to see in Indy next in 2027. It's going to be invaluable for this race for us.
Well, absolutely. And for this USF 2000 group, this is almost 180 degrees, as Frankie said, from where we were this morning. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s this morning, a little bit of humidity, dew points, some maybe dampness on the racetrack, a little bit of a green racetrack with the overnight rains. Now you come full circle, end of the day, track temperatures over 100 degrees. Multiple different series have put different compounds of rubber down. This is a lot more difficult, but these young drivers need to be able to make those adjustments on the fly if they want to step the ladder.
And remember one thing, too, it's been like 8 hours since they were in the car, right? They had an autograph session, they had lunch, they've ate, they maybe did some stretching, got themselves focused back in, but it's all about getting it back in and focused on this race car. Again, track's going to be much different. We've talked about it, all those sessions for IndyCar, Indy next, laying down the rubber. This reconnaissance lap is crucial for them to kind of get maybe a little bit of a feel for what the track's going to feel like. But again, we'll go green this time by. The drivers will work their way around. It'll be a 12-lap race, 40-minute time limit for the drivers here in this Anderson Company's Grand Prix of Road America, presented by Elite Engines. And as we know, 2 more races tomorrow morning, both USF Pro 2000 and USF 2000. 1 more to cap things off on a Sunday morning. But on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, it's time to go racing once again. Field set. Moshman on the inside. Vergara on the outside. We are green. The long run down from the start-finish. Watch them fan 2, 3 wide, maybe 4 wide. One driver thinking about 4 wide into the braking zone. That never works. Looking for a dust up over the hill here. Good to go so far. They will go 2, 3 wide still coming down the hill as well. We may have one driver off. So someone had a bit of trouble there in turn number 1. Car number 5 has gone off in turn 1. That is Kaylee Countryman off in turn number 1. Tough start for Kaylee. Rolling through there, trying to get some spots on the opening circuit. Field rolling its way down out of turn 3 through the kink 4 down to the downhill braking turn 5. You see them all kind of get themselves single file, at least up front, further far back still. 2 by 2 as they fight their way up the hill once again underneath the Corvette Bridge. Good start, Eric. Everybody's still fighting, but the front guys, not surprising, stretching out single file. Oh, more contact. Drivers off. One of them, I believe, being the NV Motorsports car of... Oh, and he's going to slide right back on. So that was Wesley Gudler involved in one of the Jay Howard cars, and I would be willing to bet some cash that's going to be an unsafe re-entry penalty for that driver who drove straight back out to turn number 7.
I was just going to say, these drivers quite a bit more aggressive on this start than we saw this morning. I think that's because of more confidence in the heat of the tires as well.
We'll come to Frankie Mossman on that in a second again, because I want to see what he has thoughts on that. We'll watch the rest of this lap here to see if they kind of settle in a little bit, and then we'll kind of unpack the craziness we saw up in turn number 5. I'm thinking Kaylee Countryman may have been able to get back underway. I don't see a yellow flag coming here yet, so yeah, being told by our spotters that she is back onto the racetrack and rolling again, so she'll be hoping actually for a yellow to potentially catch up back to the tail of the field. Otherwise, the battle is on. Frankie, let's bring you in there. You kind of saw what happened there. Is it just over anxiousness, over aggression on the opening lap?
Yeah, I think a lot of the boys, especially after having this morning's race and having the IndyCar rubber laid down, you get a little bit ambitious thinking you can roll around the outside, but at the end of the day, going 4 wide 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to get the short end of the stick.
100%. The false sense of security given by IndyCar rubber. The battle up front starting Majman, Martella, and Cooley. Good start for both of the exclusive Autosport cars. Eric, what do you got?
So Majman dragged the right front going into turn 1, so keep an eye on potential flat spotting for your leader through turn 3.
Couple of drivers together there, some more contact coming through the corner. Frankie?
Yeah, in turn 1, it looked like somebody got sideways and another car followed in and hit them from the side. So I'm going to figure that they're going to go yellow here shortly.
Yeah, being told there's contact in turn number 2. We've got some contact, some wall coming down the hill, or potentially outside of turn number 3 as well. So a lot's happened here. We're going to see full course yellow here momentarily, we would bet, thinking what we can see from our vantage points. I've got an eye out here looking at Aaron Likens. And yeah, full course yellow being thrown here at the start. Sounds like potential issue in turns 2 or turns number 3. Drivers involved, the AMR IndyCar safety crew, you see roll it in the back here, working to try to find out which driver potentially involved in this one.
Yeah, it looks like there's 3 cars beached on the exit of turn 1 together.
So Frankie having to look at all the different cameras that we have up here in the booth here, and an issue for drivers out in turn number 3. And we've seen that before. You come down that corner out of turn 1, maybe somebody in front of you had an issue. You get aggressive and try to force the issue to the inside. And as we know, we're talking open wheel racing, and it doesn't take much to lock a wheel, to drive over somebody else's. And at that point, you kind of give things up. You find yourself off the racetrack in the gravel traffic. And Eric, you hate to see it happening in the opening laps. Just settle in and get racing, especially if you're outside the top 15. Just stay out of trouble and get an opportunity to leverage the race laps here when you're trying to learn.
Well, and Brendan Cooley kind of agreed, during the pro session,
yep,
that you want to get into a rhythm. It's very difficult to kind of get that adrenaline up, confidence in, get into a rhythm. And then kind of go attack a little bit. Now, Frankie, I would imagine that's a little bit more difficult to do when you end up having these very early yellows.
No, 100%. You're kind of put on the defensive, especially if you have a bad run on one of these restarts. You just kind of have to stick with the lane that you're in and kind of hope for some momentum to open up, especially if a car behind makes a mistake behind you, and you can start getting some clean air and chasing the cars out in front again. But the momentum's super important around here.
Our Honda Civic Type R pace car out onto the racetrack. Safety cars on the facility as well. Looking at the drivers who have come back across: Majman, Martella, Cooley, Janetta, and Garzone, the top 5. Good start for Sebastian Garzone. Remember, he launched from a little bit deeper in the field. 11th, he ends up rolling up to P5 ahead of Agara, Ayrton and Gabriel Kahn, Eddie Beswick, and Lucas Nanji. Looks to me like the drivers involved in the incident: Leonardo Saravalli, Callahan Peter, and Liam Loiacono. Peter, I believe, might have been the driver involved that went off track over in turn number 6. The driver there, I think, off is Liam Loiacono, I believe. Frankie, what do you see from there?
Yeah, I think one of them spun. I'm pretty sure it was Saravalli, and I think Loiacono got into the side of him. And then Callahan kind of followed in with them.
So, yeah, the cameras that we have available here for the replay, actually, we didn't see that. That driver off right there, the 101 machine with the logo for 101 on the side of the car, that's the Callahan Peter machine. Nutrition 101, one of the sponsors for Cal. He's off the racetrack. It looks to me like his teammate Loiacono there as well. What a horrible deal. It's been a rough weekend for Jay Howard.
I was just going to say, you and I were on the same page there, just looking at each other. But Jay Howard Driver Development, powered by ECR, they have hit just about everything but the pace car this weekend, unfortunately. And it's not to make fun of them. They have worked immensely hard to get their drivers back on course all weekend long. But this is a disastrous second race for Callahan Peter. He was the first car out in the opening round this morning as well. And Loacano had the same type of contact during the practice session yesterday morning. So this has been just a really rough weekend. It's kind of one of those where you want to set aside the Road America weekend and just kind of focus on moving ahead, but you got to try to finish something tomorrow.
Eric, this was the weekend that Loiakinen was hoping to turn it around. He was the fastest driver here in USF Juniors last year, won all the main events, struggled, had an issue at the very start of practice yesterday, and dropped the wheel coming out of 13 and found himself in the wall. Wasn't able to make qualifying 1 as the team had to put the car back together. They got it back out for qualifying 2. That's why he was able to start further up in the 9th position instead of the tail of the field. Was able to storm forward. He was the hard charger in race number 1, getting himself forward into a solid top 10 finish, and was really looking for a bounce back here. Not sure what happened. Again, we don't have any replays on the incident in turn number 1. It's involved a number of cars. 3 drivers out of here right now. Saravalli, Peter, and Loiakino all involved in the incident. Maddie Colleran, who we were told didn't run the opening race. We were told she was going to run race number 2, but I don't see her coming across the line to put a lap in. But otherwise, the remainder of the field circulating here is the AMR safety crew doing their best to get this corner cleaned up quickly. Brad Majman, your leader, Anthony Martella, and Evan Cooley. Good starts for those drivers from 3rd and 5th. So essentially, the inside row, the drivers running 1, 2, 3 started 1st, 3rd, and 5th. And they got the best run through. Ryan Janetta, who started in the 4th spot, runs there. Sebastian Garzone in the 5th position. Fagar, who started on the outside of the front row, falling back into 6th spot in the opening lap. Comm brothers, Ayrton and Gabe, sitting 7th and 8th. Remember, they started deeper in the field for sure. Gabe Kahn all the way back in the 14th position. Ayrton up in 7th. So a great start there for Gabriel Kahn to get himself into the top 10. Eddie Beswick, winner of race number 1, started 6th. He's back into 9th. And Lucas Nanji, who started in 12th, gets a couple of spots to work his way up into the top 10. So there's the re-rack for you there after the opening lap. It's going to help out Kaylee Countryman because she's 20th on the track. Remember, she had the issue going off in turn number 1 on the opening circuit, able to come back and get herself in. Frankie, let's go back to you. What do you got?
Yeah, from what I can see here, it looks like Cal Peter was side-by-side on the exit of 1, and there was actually a lot of cars going off into the gravel, and it looks like Cal spun as well, made a little bit of contact on the exit, and then Loacano collected in with him. It's really unfortunate for Liam. Like you said, he was really strong here last year, and especially starting a lot further up. I thought he was going to be on the box this race, but he still got tomorrow as well, yeah? Yeah,
shout out to the crew here in the booth at Road America. We can't see this, of course, on our broadcast, but they were able to bring up some replays from the camera, and you guys are exactly right. A number of drivers went off way wide.
There had to be at least a half a dozen off.
Yeah.
Follow the leader.
That went wide off, didn't hit the entry point into turn 1. They were way off the racetrack. A couple of drivers spinning. I think it might have been Callahan Peter, maybe that spun, and Loacano with nowhere to go kind of drove into him. So
lost in all of that, Oliver Weldon into the 13th spot.
Yeah, take that.
From the back.
Well, listen, I say this time and time again. When you start at the back of the field, check up, take a breather, and wait for the wrecks to happen, and then drive through them. The opening lap, a lot of the times when you're at the tail of the field, you're picking and choosing where you can get through. You need to have those lower risk opportunities instead of throwing it up in there and trying to scrap it out. Frankie, you've started races at the front, you've started races at the back. When you're at the front, pretty easy what to do. At the back, sometimes you got to use that maturity to come away with a good opening circuit.
Yeah, honestly, it really impressed me with what Oliver did. I saw him; he had to have been in the last 2 cars coming into turn 5 on the opening lap. So it really showed a lot of maturity for him. For him to be now all the way halfway up the field with only 4 laps in.
Fantastic start for Frankie's fellow VRD Racing teammate, Oliver Weldon, who is in his first year in USF2000. We mentioned earlier in the weekend that he was not able to run at St. Petersburg, had not yet turned the mandatory 15 years of age to run in the series. Did so very soon after the Grand Prix weekend, so we were able to see him for the first race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. And Weldon, again, battling back from the issues in qualifying. They put him at the tail of the field. All these drivers are going to get to do it one more time. As I said before, we're back on track tomorrow for Sunday to go racing again. Looking forward to that to cap things off. Will be essentially the morning show as the USF Pro 2000 drivers. USF 2000 drivers, I believe, on track first. The USF Pro 2000 to follow after that. So bright and early, ready to go racing. Eric, you and I can have a coffee. Or listen, I will say this: I did take your word for it. You and Tom, I went and got a brown egger.
There you go.
It was fantastic. It's
one of the best sandwiches here.
No brainer for sure. You should do that tomorrow morning, folks, if you're trackside. Head to the Gearbox.
Lots of great food around this racetrack. And if you're watching on the stream and haven't been to this racetrack yet, find a weekend.
Oh, come on.
I mean, this is a fantastic weekend. Obviously, Junior's here in a couple weeks, but you take a look at this racetrack, how fantastic it is, and you can really eat your way around a lap. So there's plenty of space for you to kind of spread out. Bring your own picnic if you don't want to eat the track concessions. But this is a fantastic racetrack. Coming to green here this time through, going to complete lap number 5 when we get the green flag. Restart zone right at the base of the hill in the bottom of turn 14.
So it'll be Majman, Martella, Cooley, and Janetta rolling on. Actually, we'll get lap 4 in the book, so we'll put lap 4 in. Still a long way to go. Green flag flying, and a good jump there for Majman. But as we know, and he knows as well, you're a sitting duck when you're the leader here. Watch for Martella to potentially work with his teammate Cooley, although Cooley getting challenged big time by Ryan Janetta. Janetta's looking to the inside. Cooley able to come back across. Big run up the straightaway here now. Here comes Martella trying the outside. Not quite enough there. Lots of room, as we know, to the outside of turn number 1. How do they look coming down the hill? He's able to hold the spot back. Garzone's going to go to work on Janetta coming down in as well. Look at this to the inside. Garzone trying to get to the inside of Janetta, but he stays on power, and Janetta will likely get a better run down. You'll see Garzone tucked back behind to get the draft. Indeed, there it is. They work their way forward here now. Great start as well for the Kahn brothers. They're up on top of each other, trying to use the draft together. Here comes Martella. He wants to lead in a big way. Martella tried around the outside. He may go side by side. Watch the run up the hill here. Martella, not quite enough. He's going to be on the outside of the racetrack. Indeed, back up the hill. Majman still leads. Martella second, Cooley third. And indeed, the pass done by Sebastian Garzone. Big wide run out of the corner. I'm not sure if that was Janetta. That might have been one of the exclusive cars that went wide, a little bit wide coming out of 6. Nothing too damaging, but losing maybe a spot or two. Could have been the PFH racing machine as well. VM Boshoff, he's up there as well, I think, now. Good stuff here on the opening lap after the restart. Martella threw everything he possibly could, but it was a really good jump, a good start, a restart for Majman coming out of 14 that kept enough of a gap that even though Martella was alongside, not enough to be able to get that spot coming through turn number 1. Down through the kettle bottoms once again. Full defense for Majman, keeping the car to the right side of the racetrack, trying to cover off the bottom into Canada quarter. A hard braking zone. Look at Martella, outside, inside. Oh, Martella is throwing it down. Trying to find a way by here early on. But again, you don't want to throw it away. Eric, we've seen this before. At the first couple of laps will gap you from the rest of the field. You'll kind of get down to a more manageable amount of group up front. But Martella seems really hell-bent to try to go to P1.
And what we've seen over time is that as those battles continue to kind of wage out side by side, nose to tail, filling the mirrors, that brings the rest of the group back. What they really need to do right now is just kind of settle in, be consistent, kind of get in line, and try to pull away from the rest of this field as the rest of the field still side by side. Battle for the lead.
Yeah, Martella to the outside. He may have got it done this time. Back down the hill. Yeah, Martella goes to the lead. The outside of turn 1. Book it. He'll go to P1. Martella takes the lead.
But by doing so, look at how the top 6 is now line astern out of the exit of 3.
Frankie, when you get something in your mind like that, wanting to go for the race lead, is that it? It says, I'm going for it or nothing here?
Yeah, honestly, it's a really quick moment. You don't even know that it happens. You just commit to it, and then all of a sudden, you have that realization like you did the job, especially in like a high commitment corner like that. But Martella's been really digging. You know, he wants what he's deserved.
Well, you look at the season so far for Garzone, then you look at the season.
Majman dives to the inside at 6.
Yeah, that never works though. Because as long as you hold the outside there, you're able to keep the run down. And Majman almost opened the door for Cooley to come through.
Yeah, what I want to say is that now in the tail end of the group, you can see Weldon starting to come into the mirrors of, I think, Kahan. He's gone from 24th to 8th so far now for Weldon. You know, he's had a really, really good race so far, and with the way that they're battling, you know, I think he could battle for a top 5 or a podium spot.
You know, Eric, anytime we bring an analyst in here, we kind of have to read them the riot act of trying to play the team guy too much, right? Straight up on Weldon, helping his teammates, VRD Racing teammate. No, definitely.
But it's a great observation, though. I mean, he's absolutely correct, which makes us look, smart sometimes.
He's pushing. I love it.
Other times we're not.
I love it. Let's see what happens here. Right now, Martell is trying to get a bit of a gap, right? He wants to be able to look forward. The battle right now is actually for P3 as Garzone has gone around the outside of Cooley. Sebastian Garzone has gone to P3. 7 straight top 5 finishes for Garzone this year. Lost a little bit on that last race, finishing 5th as his primary challengers were able to finish up front on him.
But not a qualifying effort for Garzone that we expected this weekend. Started the first race 12th, started 11th here and up into the top 4.
And he said that he struggled in qualifying, was not happy with what he was able to do in the qualifying run. So
quickest lap of the race so far as well.
Let's go purple this last time by, right? No doubt about it. But I was going to say this before, is kind of talking a little bit about the two different seasons so far. Anthony Martella, one of the reasons why he's going to be so aggressive through to the end of the season is simply because he's had ups and downs. It's been feast or famine. He's either won races or finished on the podium or been taken out in a number of races. He was taken out in the opening race at St. Petersburg, on the very opening corner going for the lead. He had a couple mechanicals as well. He's here to win races right now and put that on the resume. Where Garzone can really kind of cruise in right now and put in some good races and start stacking up points and could potentially cruise to the championship. It's a guy like Martella who wants to stack on wins right now to keep himself in the middle of the fight. He leads right now. You can see the fight. A little bit of an issue there for Garzone. Looked like he went back a spot, back to P5, I think.
I was just going to say he kind of got elbowed out a little bit from Eddie Beswick and lost this 2 spots, back to 6th, 4th to 6th at turn 3, but kind of back line astern here for the lead group. But he had the fast lap for a moment, but guess who has the fast lap now? Up into the 8th spot, wow. Oliver Weldon.
What a great drive for Weldon. Remember, from the tail of the field, leveraged the chaos of the opening couple of laps, got himself up, as we said, into the top 15. He is now into 8th position with the fast lap of the race. Oliver Weldon is coming 2.8 seconds back. If it goes green to the end, he'll have work to do. If we get a yellow, all bets are off. He's already found himself to the wing now of Joao Vergara. His teammate, the VRD driver, is now running in 7th and 8th, but Weldon has got a bit in his teeth. He is pushing forward in a big way right now. A lot of good battles. Hey, VRD, listen, we talked about you potentially, Frankie, providing some information. Look where they're running right now. Best career run so far for Ryan Giannetti. He's P4. You got Vergara in 7th. You got Weldon there as well. Jack Morhart's up to 19th. Your entire quartet of teammates in the 2000 program are rolling right now.
Yeah, to me, I think they really seem to have hit it in the first half of this race. But hopefully, it keeps on stretching to the end, but it seems like the setup's pretty dialed. It looks like Oliver's gone by Joao now, and now he's going to be chasing down the next car ahead of him.
That's it. Eddie Beswick will be the next one for Oliver Weldon. He goes to 7th. 7 laps down, 5 laps remaining here in USF2000. Their second of 3 races on the weekend. Big battling throughout the field here. Now Martella leading by just about a half a second over Brad Majman. Fast lap just laid down by Evan Cooley. The driver had an issue there. Someone went off. Not sure what that was. Someone had some trouble, I think, off the outside of turn number 1 and then brought it back on. We know there's kind of a bump at the end there as well. You got to watch that when you come back onto the racetrack. That caught me off guard as I was kind of transitioning back and forth between the monitor and the live timing as well, because Cooley just went purple on that last lap. He's now the fast driver on track. He's trying to go to work on Brad Majman to see if they can go exclusive Autosport 1-2. We'll see if that plays out or not. Driver's gone around. That's the number 10 of Elias Vignola. Vignola was running in, where is he? The 11th spot, almost a top 10. Able to continue on. You saw the loop in the braking zone of turn number 5. Not that hard to potentially get up on the curbing. Those rumble strips, Eric, on the inside that delineate the outside of the corner there. You're on braking, you're off balance a bit. Not hard to have the car go around.
The car's in transition. Obviously, you're dragging the brake. You're trying to get off the brake as soon as you can. It's real easy to kind of pop out, try to get back onto the power to cut down to the apex if you're turning in late, and pretty easy to just kind of get the car off sequence under load, and it looked like that was into the runoff area. You can also go a little bit light on the brakes there too, and then try to grab the brakes too late, and then you drag the the rear of the car around.
So right now the field is kind of stretched out, as we can see. Little battles working up throughout the field. Drivers with the big speed trying to work their way forward. I'll go through the top 10 here again momentarily, but we're seeing some pretty good racing right now. The battle we're seeing from Giannetta and Garzone. That's the fight for the 4th spot here. We see Weldon trying to close back up on Beswick. He's right there as well. Weldon's got a rocket here now. Here's a couple battles potentially coming here. We're going to see Garzone going after Giannetta, and we're going to see Weldon going after Beswick as well. Watch for some 2x2 coming up here. Indeed, there it is right there. I don't know that Weldon's close enough, but Garzone looking to go around the outside. In fact, he gets that pass done before they get into the turn-in point. So move Garzone now up to 4th. Giannetta goes back to P5. You know, when these USF2000 drivers settle in after the opening couple of laps, getting past that craziness of the opening circuits, we really see some good racing here. It's just, I don't know what it is about turn 1, the big long run down at Eric. Frankie, is it that attractive, turn 1? I know when you get the big run of the restarts and the starts, is it just that some of these younger drivers feel that's the only place you're going to be able to make up positions?
Yeah, the bigger part of it is as the pit wall ends as well, too, it really widens out. So you think that you have more opportunity than you do. And then the grass comes up really quick, and then it tightens everybody up, and then all of a sudden, all those incidents start to come.
Well, we saw that early incident into turn 1. Everybody was starting to drag the brakes, including your leader at the time, Brad Madgman. Drag the brake, lock the right front up, and then the whole field stacked, 6 deep into going into the runoff. I think just trying to avoid the smoke, because obviously this late in the afternoon too, you've got a little bit of a lighting difference. You're behind the trees and all of a sudden pop out to the sunlight, making your apex into the center exit of turn 1. So Frankie, this time of day has a lot to do with kind of passing opportunities too here.
100%. It does make a pretty big impact, and but I think also the nature of the drivers, like the behavior of them, because it can really switch up from a race where everyone's deciding to kind of stay in single file, and then you have the other ones where everyone's really chaotic, and I think this is one of those. You constantly see people coming down and defending for their position. You see people being really aggressive, trying to take the outside moves. So I think it more comes down to the behavior of the drivers and the track conditions most of the time.
Once again, if you're joining us late, Frankie Mossman, USF Pro 2000 driver, joining us in the booth here for the second of 2 races in the USF 2000 program. My name is Rob Howden, joined by the voice of Road America, Eric Miller. And again, watching these drivers battle it over the last couple of laps. Lap number 9 will go in the books when they come across the stripe. 3 laps remaining here, and we may have ourselves another battle. It's right there. Brad Madgman's closed up on Martella as we're looking for a fight. Madgman's going to try the outside. Martella's not going to give it up. The inside, look at this battle a little further back. Oh, they were pushing
nose to gearbox
through.
there.
Yes. Yeah, there may have been a little contact coming through there. The driver's a bit further back. Those are the ones right behind Garzone and Giannetta. Beswick, Weldon, all right on top of each other there. Crazy stuff, battling to try to get up onto the podium. And listen, if you're a guy like Weldon, you start at the tail of the field. You're trying to see if you can't restart the push forward to get a good finish of the championship, or at the very least turn some heads, have a fantastic finish, and head into Sunday with a head of steam and some confidence. Top 4 drivers, as we see, though, very close together right now. Martella, Madgman, Cooley, and Garzone. And another purple lap, fast lap of the race for Garzone. Not only good because you're closing up, but also because it's a bonus point. You're thinking championship, you stack all those points up. We've seen many times where it's come down just a couple of markers to find out who comes away with the championship.
Well, I don't know if we want to tell him that, but we did say this about Frankie in the pro race, that poise under pressure a little bit. And Garzone right now, that poise is trying to get as many points as he can. Obviously, being in the top 4 now, kind of correcting the qualifying. I don't want to call it a mistake, but the difficulty that team had in qualifying for D-Force Racing. But Garzone trying to capitalize and just being poised and taking the points as you can get them.
Getting to the end of this one here, Frankie, is there a time in a race when you have that switch in your mindset going from, hey, I'm going to go for the race win, I'm going to battle it out, or hey, listen, I'm going to stack some points here right now?
Yeah, 100%, especially with this early on in the season. Like IndyNext and IndyCar, they've done a lot more race weekends than we have. We didn't see 2000 with us at Arlington. We weren't at St. Pete. And so I think the mentality that Garzone in is really, really good, but you can tell he's hungry. He's half a second quicker than the top 3 right now. So honestly, if I were him, I'd keep the push forward.
Yeah, again, the pace is there. Let's keep going, try to at least get on the podium. Top 3 drivers last time by all set their fastest laps. 10 down, 2 laps remaining. Martella, Madgman, Cooley, Garzone, your top 4. Beswick 5th. Weldon 6th. He's been able to get by Giannetta. Vergara runs in the 8th spot. Ian Bossoff up into 9th, and Gabe Kahn now running in 10th. Good stuff here. The VRD driver stacking it up nicely in now 6th, 7th, and 8th. Again, starting for the very tail of the field, Weldon has got himself up to 6th. A stellar drive for the young Weldon as he is trying to work his way now into the top 5. The fight up front, though, has been so good. Anthony Martello leading the way. And remember, we'll see the white flag this next time by. Martello trying to grab another victory on the season. He comes in here 13th in points. Actually, a 9th place finish in the opening race. Was 3rd on the podium, got a blocking penalty down to 9th. That's going to move him up a little bit. So he's likely, I'm going to say probably somewhere closer to 10th in the points, but looking for his 2nd win of the season. A victory earlier at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Grand Prix event, the road course there. And Eric, he's got a nice little lead coming down to hurry downs, making 2-3 lengths into turn number 8.
Gorzon's looking for a podium here, right on the gearbox of Evan Cooley for that 3rd spot. Looking for the bottom step on the podium for Garzon.
Like I said, it's always interesting, right? He hits P4 here, makes it 8 straight top 5s. Like, he's just stacking the points to try to win a championship. But again, all these young drivers, Frankie included, have that burning desire to win races, right? You're not here to circulate around. I don't want to win a championship finishing 4th all year long, Frankie. You want to win races. You know that.
Yeah, you got to be pretty hungry. I'm still digging for that first one.
Yep,
you know,
it's coming.
It's coming. You know, I haven't been off the podium except for the messy race one at Indianapolis when it was a bit wet, and then the oval. But you know, I see where his head's at, and you know, also consistency does win championships, and that's going to take a driver like Garzon up to the next level.
All right, folks, let's turn it up to 11. Here we go, final lap. White flag will fly this time by for Anthony Martello. What do we have here? Big run for Brad Majman. Martello's going to go to the inside of the racetrack for sure. Majman will go to the outside. We're going to see a battle for the race win here. Final circuit for USF2000. Majman on the outside. Will he send it all the way? I think it's a good run there for Martello through to the inside. They weren't quite there. Martello's got the spot. Crisscross back down. Martello will look to the inside. He's got the spot. The fight still continuing for Cooley and Garzon for the final step on the podium. Last lap here for the drivers at USF2000. Like I said, going to push the reset button to it and do it all again tomorrow morning. What a great way to finish things off here today. They were on track with a green flag at 8 o'clock this morning, and they are going to bookend the day here as well. Big move for Garzon, trying to go over-under. Went to the outside of the racetrack at turn 5. They'll climb back up the hill. Not quite enough for Garzon, trying to throw everything here at Cooley. Just don't throw it away. You're thinking about a championship. It's got to be a move that you can get done. If you risk it, a penalty, you wreck cars, it's not what you want to do if you're trying to win a championship. Martello, though, looking very good, Eric, up front.
You know, absolutely, but you got to hand it to Evan Cooley right now, running a little bit more of a defensive line, holding off your point leader, doing a great job trying to keep that 3rd step on the podium.
Well, remember, Cooley's in the top 5 in points as well. Actually, probably the top 3 in points. He had a horrible opening round at St. Petersburg, got wrecked in both races, but he won the Freedom 75 points and a half. He's right there, P3 coming into the weekend. He's trying to hold on for that 3rd spot to keep himself in the championship fight. Got to finish in front of the guy on top of the box, and that's where he is right now. Martello, though, looks good coming down through the kettle bottoms. He's got himself a nice bit of room, and Cooley actually may have something for Majman in the drag race to the line. Fight further back for positions. Coming out of turn 13 and 14. Will it be a 2nd victory for the young Canadian? Martello just got to roll back on power at a 14. Man, a fantastic, almost flawless drive for the exclusive Autosport driver. He won at Indianapolis, and he's a winner as well here at Road America. Anthony Martello wins race number 2 for USF2000. Cooley not quite there to steal 2nd away from Majman. Garzon was close with the fast lap of the race. Eddie Beswick 5th. Oliver Weldon from 25th to 6th. Amazing drive. Ryan Janetta, Joao Vergara, and Ian Bossoff round out the top 10. Frankie, I'll give you an opportunity to pump the team right now because VRD Racing looked really good there. They finished 6th, 7th, and 8th. One of their drivers coming from the tail of the field, and that might be one of the best runs as well on the year for Jack Morhart. Had a great battle further back in the pack.
Yeah, I think Jacob did a really good job with the cars. You know, obviously the guys want to do a bit more. You know, Joao starting from the front row. You know, he's going to be pretty upset with the finish back in 8th. But you know, you're kind of a sitting duck on the start from off pole. You saw it with Jeffers in our pro race. So for him, just going to turn around tomorrow and try to get some better points and be on the top step.
Frankie, obviously you get another race tomorrow. Best of luck there. Any sponsors you want to bring up right now? You get an opportunity.
Yeah, I want to thank Ivy Day Spa. My godparents are here watching out my race. I want to thank Ryan Americas, Ethica. Really want to thank the team. They've done a really good job all year. And, we're still really early on in the season, and we're just going to keep our heads down and then try to fight for a championship once we come back here in September.
Frankie, I look forward to our first winter interview. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Frankie Mossman, folks. Eric, I'll pass it over to you. I'm going to head down to Victory Lane. Anthony Martella, Brad Mashman, and Evan Cooley await as we get things underway for our last race of the day. I'll let you kind of work your way through the final results for those watching at home. But again, Victory Lane celebrations coming up next.
USF2000 race number 2, third race tomorrow morning. Anthony Martella coming away with your winner, Brad Mashman, and Evan Cooley, your podium here for USF2000. Sebastian Garzon, what a comeback from 11th starting spot to get back up to another top 5 and the quick lap. Another extra bonus point for that. Bonus point for leading the most laps goes to Anthony Martella as well. Eddie Beswick comes home in the 5th spot. Oliver Weldon 6th. Ryan Gianetto 7th. Joao Vergara in the 8th spot. Gabriel Kahn in the 9th spot. And Vian Boshoff in the 10th spot. That's a pretty nice recovery from a little bit less of a result this morning. Connor Aspley 11th. Ayrton Khan, Cole Medeiros, Thomas Nordquist, Wesley Gunler made some improvement on the start in 15th. Lucas Nanji in 16th. Grant Mitchell 17th. Jack Morehart with a great result 18th. Kaylee Countryman with a rebound after the turn 1 spin as well up to 19th. Elias Vignola had some issues and has spun in turn 5 back up into that 20th position. Naim Salah in 21st. Leonardo Saravalli, Callahan Peter, Liam Locaiono in the 24th spot, and it did not start for Maddie Colloran again in that 25th spot. Did not start for Maddie. Maybe we'll see her tomorrow morning for round number 3. USF 2000. That is a great race, but one more to go tomorrow morning to start things off at 8 a.m. Our podium celebration for USF 2000 coming up in just a few moments. to Rob Howden in Victory Lane for USF 2000 podium.
Eric, thank you so much. Down here in Victory Lane to cap things off of a fantastic day of USF Pro Championships competition. A lot of celebrations down here today. And again, great to have all of our guests for the USF Pro Championships. They've enjoyed a fantastic day, and it'll be a great morning tomorrow as well. Let's start with the driver finishing today in the third position. Give it up for Exclusive Autosports, Evan Cooley. Evan, that was a battle. I love when we have good scraps like that. You and Sebastian Garzon were going at it big time. Give me your thoughts on how that race played out.
Oh, yeah, really good race to come home third. Yeah, just battling with the air wash all race behind management. So I thought we were a little bit quicker, but it was hard to get up to him. And, yeah, just held on, played a really defensive race. So got a lot of good points. I want to thank the team, obviously, and all my sponsors for their support.
Good stuff. Evan Cooley finishing third spot today. Let's bring in Mike Burke, one of our guests again here for the USF Pro, bringing that third place trophy in. Great job. What a battle it was throughout that race. A little hiccup at the start, otherwise clean and green through to the very end of that one. Great stuff for Evan Cooley to put two Exclusive Autosport drivers here on the podium. Finishing in second spot, another P2. He's having a great weekend, folks, for Pabst Racing. Brad Majman finishing P2. Brad, the win's right around the corner here. You got one already, but man, it's such a battle up front there for you. Just walk me through how the race played out.
Yeah, another close second. Sure, hopefully we get a win tomorrow.
Overall, it seems like the car's a really good car right now.
Yeah, this car's really good. We're quick. It's really hard. Really hard leading up there, waiting for the car to come in, and then once it comes in, and it seems like it's a little bit easier to defend the last few laps than on the first few on the restart. At least that's what the facts are showing, right? But yeah, another good haul of points. Can't complain. Yeah.
Well done. Second place. One more time. Round of applause for Brad Majman. Fatima Abudeye is going to bring in our trophy for us here. Fatima, thank you very much. Great job for Brad Majman, as we said, going to grab a hold of those trophies. 2 podiums in a row, going to try to make it 3 to continue to work his way closer to the points. That's what you got to do. You got to beat the point leader if you want to come away with the championship at the end of the season. This driver here has had ups and downs. It's been feast or famine. A win at Indianapolis. Now he's a race winner at Road America as well. Put your hands together for Exclusive Autosport, Anthony Martella. You win at Indy, you win at America's National Park of Speed. How does that feel?
It feels awesome. Yeah, a lot of bad luck this year, some unfortunate circumstances, which, yeah, I can't control. But, kept my head down, keep working. And, yeah, the whole team did an amazing job putting this amazing car together. And, yeah, never give up. And, yeah, happy to be here and happy to take the win for the team.
So much pressure from Bradley behind you there. What were your thoughts at the end of that race?
Yeah, it was a tough race, pressure every single lap. But, I just kept my head down, kept calm, kept cool. Knew where I was stronger than him, knew where I needed to work on with my driving. But, yeah, happy to come away with the win, and definitely stressful couple laps, but I got the job done.
Who do you want to thank?
I want to thank this whole Exclusive Autosport team, man. These guys work a lot, really, really hard for me. Josh Cooley, Michael Duncalf, my engineer Lou DiAgostino, and my driver coach Oliver Askew. Everyone under the tent's put in a lot of hard work, especially my dad, long hours in the office, very, very long nights. So this wins for them.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's another winner again, folks. Anthony Martella. Lindsey Burke is going to bring that trophy in for Anthony. What a fantastic drive for him today. The pressure, as we've talked about, he's had a rough up and down season, folks, and to be able to get the victory here again when you're not able to stack points after mechanical failures and incidents that happen on the racetrack, it's those victories that you can put exclamation points on and make you know that you're still showing everybody in the paddock just what you can actually do. Championship still not out of the realm of possibility for Anthony Martella. You keep winning races and keep stacking points. You never know where you're going to be when we get back here in September for Road America and our championship finale. But we have ourselves 3 very talented young drivers here, 3 countries as well. Canada getting the win, second place for Australia, third place for the USA. An international program, as we know, here in the USF Pro Championships. And great to see another victory for Anthony Martella. We'll see another one for Brad Majman here pretty soon. Will it be tomorrow morning? We'll see a couple of second place finishes. Huge for him in the points. It is going to be a heck of a battle through the end. exclusive Autosport crew. If you want to get in there and pull your car back, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, you may be far enough away from the champagne spray. Otherwise, we'll get things rolling here. One more shot. Got the hats on here, as we know. Champagne waiting in the wings. Guys, just do us a favor. Focus down on the photographer in the middle. There we go. One more shot. Champagne waiting to cap off what's been a wild day. Bookending the weekend here, or the day rather, here at Road America. We were here bright and early for an 8 o'clock green flag, capping things off here today, as we know, for a 4:50 green. And again, these drivers will be right back at it. Early morning alarm to be back on the racetrack once again for another 8 o'clock green flag. Tremendous drive, all told, for the guys here. Lots of guests joining us here this weekend, too. Guests of the USF Pro Championships and Anderson Promotions and Anderson Companies and Elite Engines as well. So get the opportunity to get these good folks up here on the podium, get a shot with the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. That's that champagne, or as I like to say for the younger drivers, age-appropriate sparkling beverage. We'll get that out there for them to display here momentarily. And again, just celebrating the successes of the young drivers that we have in this program. 40 of them here this weekend. On a big weekend, we have all 3 series. We'll have upwards of 60 to 65 to 70 drivers all in this program. Again, this is where we're watching these drivers come through. This is where Kyle Kirkwood, Kristen Rasmussen, Renus VK all got their start in USF2000. Can't wait to see these young drivers running in the NTT IndyCar Series as well. Guys, you've got the champagne. Grip it and rip it. Let's celebrate the victories of the driver here today, Anthony Artella, coming away with the race win. Brad Majman goes after the team right now. And the 2 exclusive Autosport drivers celebrating together here in Victory Lane. Big win for Anthony Martella, folks. He gets his 2nd on the season. That wraps things up for today here at Road America. We're back first thing tomorrow morning. Join us on the YouTube channel or on the USF Pro Championship app if you've not downloaded it so far. More racing to cap off this fantastic trip to America's National Park of Speed. On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.